Hey, so welcome to The Really Show. Today's show, 10 highlights from the strange and wild life of Teddy Roosevelt. Now that was a real president. Hey, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Awesome possum. 1. Strange but true, Teddy Roosevelt witnessed Lincoln's funeral procession. As a 6-year-old child, Teddy Roosevelt was by chance captured in a photograph of President Lincoln's funeral procession. A faint image of Roosevelt can be seen in the second floor of his grandfather's mansion as Lincoln's funeral procession passed by in 1865. TR was a boxing enthusiast. While attending Harvard, Theodore Roosevelt fought as a light heavyweight. He continued his boxing as governor and well into his presidency. Being overly exuberant, he would box men much younger than himself, usually sparring with young military aides. In 1908, at the age of 50, he had his last sparring bout against a young artillery captain. The captain hit TR's left eye so hard that it caused severe hemorrhaging, a detached retina, and blindness in that eye. In regards to the incident, Roosevelt wrote in his autobiography, "Accordingly, I thought it better to acknowledge that I'd become an elderly man and would have to stop boxing. I then took up jiu-jitsu for a few years." Number 3, Teddy and the Bear. Perhaps some of you are familiar, but do not have the exact details of the teddy bear being named after Teddy Roosevelt. In 1902, Roosevelt went to Mississippi to hunt bears. Mississippi? To hunt bears? Never heard of that. After 3 unsuccessful days of hunting, worries began that TR's trip would be a failure. In hopes of finding a bear, the hunting guides set out on their own with the assistance of tracking dogs. They managed to catch a black bear, but badly injuring it in the process. They tied it to a tree and summoned Teddy to kill it. Upon seeing the incarcerated bear, TR refused, saying it was unsportsmanlike. Newspapers found out about this, and the story ran across the country. Political cartoonist Clifford Berryman drew a cartoon showing how Teddy refused to shoot the poor bear. Berryman later would add a little bear to any cartoon he drew of TR, thus linking him with the Bears. The Bears. What happened next was New York candy shop owner Morris Mitchum was inspired by Berryman's cartoons and had his wife create 2 stuffed toy bears, which he displayed in his candy store window. He wanted to call them Teddy's Bears, and somehow secured permission to do so from TR. And out of this, the ideal novelty and toy company was born. Number 4. What? No Bible? After the assassination of William McKinley, there was an urgency to get Theodore Roosevelt sworn in. This happened in Buffalo, New York on September 14, 1901 at the home of Ansley Wilcox. As a result of the rush, Teddy didn't take his oath of office on a Bible. This was due to either forgetting to produce a Bible or not having one available. On a side note, the Constitution does not require a president to take the oath of office by swearing on a Bible, and several past presidents have not used one in their swearing-in ceremonies. Let's keep it real up in here. 5. First to fly in an airplane. TR has the honor of being the first president to ever fly in an airplane, although he was a former president by that time. On October the 11th, 1910, while attending an air show in St. Louis, TR was invited by pilot Archibald Hawksley to go for a flight. Roosevelt initially refused, but then changed his mind and went for it. The plane, which was built by the Wright brothers and piloted by Hawksley, took TR for a flight that lasted 4 minutes. There's film footage of it, check it out. Hawksley, who worked for Orville and Wilbur, right, was nearly fired for taking such a risky flight with such an important person. Number 6, good to the last drop. While on a tour of the southern United States, President Teddy made a stop in Nashville. There he visited the Hermitage House, former home of Andrew Jackson. Hermitage. Hermitage. Sabotage. While there, he was served Maxwell House coffee. He liked it so much, he had a second cup. At this point, it's widely believed, but not confirmed, that Theodore Roosevelt inadvertently came up with the company's famous slogan when he remarked, "It's good to the last drop." Good to the last drop. Gonna ring-a-ding-ding. Number 7, Roosevelt dubbed it the White House. The White House has gone by several names in the past, that is, until President Theodore Roosevelt had special stationery made in 1901, which bore the heading, The White House, thus officially giving it the name. Number 8, the special ring. For his 1905 inaugural ceremony, President Roosevelt wore a special ring which he had borrowed from Secretary of State John Hay. Hay was President Lincoln's personal secretary some 40 years earlier. Why was this ring so special? It contained a lock of Lincoln's hair. Holy smokes. Number 9 on the list, Teddy's inked. I didn't know, and maybe you didn't either, President Roosevelt had a tattoo. Not a big deal. What was it, a small teddy bear on his inner arm? No, he had his family crest tattooed across his chest. Hi-yow. It's not a well-known fact since Teddy barely took off his shirt, if ever, in public. So it remained inconspicuous. And here we are, 10, ding, 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 bulletproof Prez. While campaigning in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on October 14, 1912, Roosevelt was on his way to a speaking engagement where he planned to give a 90-minute campaign speech. TR was outside of a hotel when he was approached and shot by an unemployed saloon keeper. Then he died. No, he didn't. Just kidding. Roosevelt must have been the luckiest man alive because the would-be assassin's bullet hit and was slowed by his steel eyeglass case and a copy of his folded 50-page speech which was in his breast pocket. The bullet penetrated through, but not deep enough to be life-threatening. TR was being urged to go to the hospital, but he refused and insisted on delivering the speech, which he did while bleeding from his chest. During that speech, Roosevelt was quoted as saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you fully understand that I have just been shot." And Roosevelt added, "It takes more than that to kill a bull moose." Bam! Have any questions or comments? Please write them in the comments section and we'll freaking read them. That's what I'll do. Hey, that's our show for today. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. That's like, it's keeping it real. TR.